Hey, Sarah here, Next Gen Medium, taking a look at Reddit and seeing what is out there, and we are getting philosophical today. Going to spirituality, the subreddit of, and going to a question posted not too long ago. It says, why do spiritual types of people become more introspective and tend to be loners? Could it be because the ego gets smaller? I was thinking about how I have gotten much quieter and gentler than before my spiritual awakening, and how I am more okay and pleased with being alone than ever before. Sometimes that scares me, and it feels strange to not need people as much, but I just realized, what if that had to do with my ego? When my ego was bigger, I needed more attention. Now that that shadow is seen, I don't think it's as scary, so maybe I'm more okay by myself. Interesting. I think for me, I was always kind of a loner, and I didn't mind being alone. In fact, I felt more comfortable being alone. After my spiritual awakening, I actually became much more comfortable around people, much more, I think I became more extroverted after my spiritual awakening. And what I think the similarity is for our particular experiences is, at least this is my theory behind it. I had to think about this one. My theory is that we become more focused on the present. We're not thinking about the traumas of the past. We're not thinking about the fears of the future when it comes to transitioning after our spiritual awakening, into our spiritual awakening, and through the spiritual awakening, and then after the spiritual awakening. And I think with that, it becomes the ego, the lesser ego becomes a product of putting more energy and focus into the present. I think if you're a person who is always presently thinking about the past or the traumas of the past or thinking about the fears of the future, you spend so much energy on the sadness or the trauma or the fear and the what ifs that you can't really enjoy what's happening right now. And if you are in either of those places, in any present moment, then there obviously is nothing to worry you in the present moment that is happening right in front of you. And I think with the spiritual awakening, at least from my experience, it became a transition of valuing that present moment and not being concerned of what crap's coming my way or the bad stuff that happened in the past. So even though you and I experienced a different kind of change to our personality, after our spiritual awakenings, I think there is a commonality in that your attention is less focused on the what ifs, and it's more about experiencing what is now. During a conversation, instead of thinking of, oh, what does this person want to hear? And how can I get this person to like me? And it doesn't really matter after spiritual awakening. And if you're finding that you're more introverted after your spiritual awakening, I think that focus on the present is really something of value. Either way, I guess. And I see the ego as a byproduct of that focus, on that attention, on that energy expended. And what's really interesting is to think who you were before a spiritual awakening and who you became after a spiritual awakening, you find that you feel more yourself after your spiritual awakening, one. And two, reflecting back, you recognize how much energy you expended on that egoic personality and how it's changed immensely since the spiritual awakening, and that it's less focused on the ego and more focused on just doing your thing and being you. And it is so much less energy spent in kind of a, I don't want to say worthless way, but your energy is spent with more value, I think, when you focus on the present. And if I was talking like this 5 years ago, I don't think I would have understood what I'm talking about. It was after my spiritual awakening that I would even talk like this, and that I say it, and I know I can connect with this person with what I have to say, because things are different after a spiritual awakening. And yeah, I think I'm going to expand upon this a little bit because there's more going through my head. I just want to think it out a little bit, but I'm going to put that up on the members blog at my members access area on nextgenmedium.com. This will be a good discussion to have with the members. And if you want to become a member, just go to my website, nextgenmedium.com, sign up. It's $14 subscription. You can cancel anytime. And becoming a member, you actually get a free download of exercises and worksheets that are included in my new book that I just put out. It's like a guide. It's called 0F Splendidly Brief Beginner's Guide to Psychic, Medium, Intuitive, and Healing Abilities. A no-frills approach, blah, 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 blah. It's only 48 pages long, basic concepts. But that 48 pages includes the exercises and worksheets, which you get a free download of. Also get free streaming of the whole Next Gen Medium podcast. There, I sold it. Now, I hope, my insight maybe brought a little something extra to the conversation, in that my experience, I became more extroverted after my spiritual awakening. But I do think that commonality is feeling less pressure to be socialized, live within those confines of the social boundary that we grew up with in the physical world, that after your spiritual awakening, you kind of evolve to another plane of rules. And that egoic piece does not work over there, in there. So check out more at nextgenmedium.com, and thank you for watching. Subscribe so you can get more of these videos, and I'll see you in another video. Bye-bye.